Hello there and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 7 and welcome back to another race build. This time I'm going to be taking a look at possibly the oldest car I've ever done a build on. This is the 1959 BMW 507, a car which came into Forza a couple of years back as a DLC car. Can't really say I've ever played with it, so today is the day where I have a play with it. And I think this car is going to be suitable for what I'm planning to do today. The 507, a car which I've never really paid that much attention to. It's been in a couple of classic racing games. It was in Gran Turismo 4, I believe. But I never really used it. I haven't used it in Forza either. I mean, it's got one of the coolest features a car can have for me, and that is a colour-coded dashboard to the paintwork, and it even has colour-coded wheels. Which is pretty darn interesting, but as a whole, 507 a car which I have ignored a fair bit. Anyways, the reason why it's perfect for what we're doing today is very simple. It starts out as a E-Class car, and what I'm planning on doing with this car is building up for some low-class racing. I'm thinking D-Class. I haven't done a D-Class build in a long time. The last one I can actually think I did was the Sunbeam Tiger back in Forza Motorsport 6, and this car's actually pretty similar to that one. So, let's see if we can actually build a low-class race car. Now, while I'm not planning to do an engine swap, it is worth having a quick look, seeing what you can put into this car. Stock horsepower, 165 horsepower. That's actually a fair bit for the time era. 10 seconds to 60, 154 mile per hour top speed. Yeah, this is a pretty quick car, as it turns out. You can stick in the 3.2 i6, 6.2 litre V8. Oh my god, you can stick the V10 in this thing. That might be a thing for Silly Car Showcase. Soon. Yeah, that's a series that I do on HG Central, if you haven't already gone to check that out, because it is fantastic. Aspiration. Do I want to change the aspiration? I'm going to come back to that one. Not too sure. As I said, I'm going to be building to D400. This car seems to not actually gain that much in the way of PI from anything I'm doing with it. Wow, okay, those are big front tyres, 255s. Decided to go with street tyres, because we don't really need much more than that for lower class racing. 255s all round. That's impressive. This is a really strange older car, because there's quite a lot of wiggle room when it comes to this car. Shouldn't need aero in theory, assuming that just, yeah, it looks weird without the chrome stuff, so we'll leave that all on there. Right, because it is an old car, I am going to want the race brakes. I'm going to want race suspension. I think I'm going to go for an aspiration swap just to change this up. And usually I do go supercharging. I think in the case of this one, I'm actually going to go for the twin turbos because they are lighter and do give us more of a power increase. So sod it, we'll have a twin turbo 507, which is weird. Roll cage adds a little silly hoop. We won't really need that. I'm going to stiffen up the chassis a little bit. Probably a wise thing to do. Surprisingly heavy car for how old it is. I think I'm going to err more on the side of power than I am of weight saving with this vehicle. While it does weigh a fair bit more than you'd probably expect it to, it still isn't too bad. 50-50 weight distribution as well, which is pretty good. We will stick in the differential. I've touched tyres, touched aero. Now it's just all about adding some extra power. Actually, again, it doesn't make the PI climb as much as I was expecting to. Or it to, which is pretty insane. In fact, we can get 213 horsepower if I straight up upgrade the turbos, or 206 and some weight saving. I will go for some weight saving on that one. Right, okay, here we go with the awkward part of trying to fish out a PI. Everything is going to turn into C401, which is just wonderful. I think this is the first time I've actually done a race build where I've stuck to the specific class I wanted to as well, which is a bonus. We can go for... Should we go for 210 horsepower? Yes, and that brings us up to D400. Now let's just see if we can add anything else to it. We can sneak a driveline in. So, yeah, there we go. What is the 0 to 60 now? 8.2 seconds. We'll fiddle with the gear ratios, because I'm assuming they are very, very long on this vehicle. Got to remember the gear ratio tunings are a little bit weird in this game now. It's not quite matching to the graph anymore like it used to be, which is a bit strange. So if I do that, we'll bring it down to 8 seconds. Can we get anything quicker than that? 8.1? No. It seems to be fairly in the 8-second range. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. 8.0 seconds, 143 miles per hour top speed, pretty good. And what about if we lower it? Doesn't that help it out because it is quite high riding as it is? Apparently that actually decreases it, but we'll ignore that for now. Yeah, there is our low-powered, well, low PI race car. 210 horsepower, 205 foot-pound torque, 2,780 pounds of weight, 50-50 weight distribution. Pretty solid stats there, actually. Rather impressed. Ironically, this actually falls well below of the restrictions for the class it's supposed to race in. So, yeah, this one should actually turn out to be a pretty good car. Let's go find a track, let's go find some other D-Class cars, and let's go have ourselves a race. Alrighty, so I found a racetrack for our 507 to go racing with, and I found a bunch of other D-Class cars that we can go racing with. We are at the Virginia International Raceway. This is the Patriots Alternative layout, which is a track I've never really raced before, other than maybe for a couple of league races, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. And you might notice, looking at the cars around us, there's actually some pretty serious cars here. Nissan 300 ZX Twin Turbo, the Lancia Stratos. Yeah, this could be pretty interesting to see how well this goes. Also interesting will be to see if the AI have managed to split themselves up enough to not have any issues through this first corner. Apparently no is the answer. They're doing their usual thing. An Astra VXR has apparently gone wide there. Oop. And apparently an Astra VXR also ignoring all of the track limits. So that's good. We're off to a typical Forza start then. RX-8. The RX-8 actually probably has about the same power and weight as I do. That's the interesting thing here. Most of these cars probably have better power to weight ratios than I do. The only issue is those are stock. I'm probably going to have the edge in terms of handling over these vehicles, but it's just a case of... Okay, something weird happening up here with an old Ferrari, apparently. Caution up ahead, caution everywhere. Apparently the land yachts are apparently having all of the issues when it comes to this. Yes, I can see straight line speed being an issue, and of course, as you can see on this track, straight line speed is pretty darn, well, necessary because there's a massive straightaway. Alright, as we come on to said straightaway for the first time, I seem to have grip. I will certainly give the BMW that. A lot of grip. However, I'm soon... Yeah, I can see the distance indicator. A Dodge Coronet is about to come sailing past us. Yes. Have fun through the corners, Mr. Coronet. I'm assuming I'm probably going to be catching up to you within... Well, this braking zone, actually, as it turns out, because I have better brakes than you. I wonder if the AI was spinning out because they were avoiding that bit. I know it technically dirties the lap if you touch that sort of weird, black, watery hole. Because there is water in there, believe it or not. So, yeah, I don't know if that's sort of the reason the cars are having some issues. So, about see if I have enough corner speed to beat people through these corners. I should have. The problem is these corners are pretty darn narrow. And, of course, we've got this bit, which will go on for here. Okay, up into 9th position now. It's staying behind a Buick, which is going to take off. There is a Nissan Silvia. There is something out far ahead of us. Not quite sure what that is. Ooh, understeer. How you doing? Apparently I don't quite have the downforce of an LMP car through there. More caution ahead as a Nissan Alpine gets apparently destroyed. Just everything falling by the wayside in this race, and I do not have my GNX buddy to slipstream off, so it's a bit of a shame. There's also a other BMW behind me, an M635, which is crying to go for the overtake. He is going to run into that braking zone though. And again, I have better brakes than you because you're all running stock cars and I'm running a modified one. Right, we should be able to get around this massive Buick. Yep, there we go. He's opened up an opportunity. I don't quite have the acceleration to beat him off of corners, but eventually good handling will rule out. This Silvia, again, similar to the RX-8, we should actually have pretty similar power to weight. He might even have slightly less power to slightly less weight than us. Although then again, it's the Silvia Case Aero, so it is the heavier one. Nope. I was about to say I almost had him, but he was just a little bit too much there. Yeah, it should be interesting down the straightaway to see whether we can keep up. He's going to go for a dab of the brakes. I'm going to go for a dab of the brakes as well, leaving it in third gear. Apparently seems to give us a little bit more in the way of grip, and dabbing the brakes also helps. Again, Focus RS, another car, similar power to weight ratio, I'd imagine, so... Can we stick with them? That's the question. The answer is... no. I was really expecting to be able to keep up with the Silvias and so on and so forth, but apparently not. This Buick is looking for a way past. I'm being a bit of a dick, blocking him off, but I will let him go through there. By let him go through there, I mean let him go through at the last possible moment and then swipe it from him. Ha 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 ha. Alright, these seem to be the corners in which I'm getting a lot of people. I can actually go around the outside of them. I don't know if that's the AI being slow or if that's just the fact that this car has that much grip compared to everything else here. These are unbeatable drivers, so technically speaking, that should be true. He's going to brake. I'm really sorry, Nissan. That was slightly your fault. I was kind of assuming he wasn't going to brake as much as he did, but he did anyway. Alright. I'm really... The problem is, on this track, you sort of get close to something, you'll overtake one or two cars through the cornered sections, and then you'll catch up to something else, and you're almost able to get him. If I had a little bit more confidence through the corners with this thing, I'd be able to do it. The problem is, well, it turns out this is a pretty darn decent handling car. It's not decent handling enough. It just isn't quite there. You know, it does suffer from a little bit of understeer. It's a little bit of body roll as well, which you wouldn't really expect. And I'm just getting eaten on these straights. You can sort of see I'm just dropping positions left, right, and centre. Of course, into this braking zone, I can make up a lot of time. And I'm going to get the Nissan this time. Through that corner. I can't quite be in my favourite overtaking spot around this corner. Good. Stealth the curb, stealth the curb. Twat. Come on. Get away from the curbs. Because if he doesn't take the entirety of the racing line, which he's sort of doing, which again, making that very, very difficult, we are going to go super wide and into the tyre wall. Yeah, not quite getting enough racing room from this guy, even though I'm in the much quicker car in terms of corners. But then again, I'm going to be able to get him on this area because I'm going to take a cheaty line through here. There we go. And that dispatched onto the Focus up into 5th place, although he's probably going to get me on the straights. This MX-5 I might actually have straight line speed on. I literally don't know. If I don't have straight line speed on the MX-5, then I'm literally the slowest car here, because there can't be anything slower than that MX-5. The MX-5 must have about 170 horsepower, if that. It is the cup car, but granted. Nope, I haven't got the straight line speed on him either. I'm literally the slowest thing here. First place, whatever first place is just driving off into the sunset. There is no way around that. This is the final lap. Top 5 would be nice, top 3 would be nicer. Oh, I'm going to just bugger the braking up a little bit too much around there. Apologies to the Focus. I mean, in technical terms, that MX-5 probably will be rivaling me for grip. So I do need to watch out on that one. Oh, God. Yeah, it feels a little bit on the heavy side as well, which you wouldn't really expect from a car weighing just 2,800 pounds. Sorry, MX-5. Very, very sorry. I'd love 3rd place, but I'm not getting 3rd from that Silvia, because, again, if the Aeros is quicker than in a straight line, then I bet you any money that one will be as well. Question is, will I be able to hold on to 4th place? If these guys collide, though, that would be nice. I thought the Nissan was going wide, but that just seems to be the line through that corner that the AI take. And onto this finish line. 4th place for the 507. Gotta say, not the most successful car I've ever built. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that one. I thought I would have at least a handling on most things. Then again, the track is pretty narrow. It was a Corvette. That complete monster does, actually. In terms of fastest lap, I mean, we are the second quickest thing here, apart from that Corvette. I assume that's just because that Corvette was running in complete and utter clean air. Yeah. What did we get again? A 121.6, so the race mode was quicker. Falcon... Thing is, we dispatched of all those guys super early because of the collisions they were having, so yeah, not a particularly successful time for the BMW, but it's not the worst thing I've built. I have built much worse cars than this before. I've had some pretty shocking ones, although not so many in this game. Usually cars turn out to be decent enough when it comes to this game. Even that crazy CJ5 thing, that wasn't too bad. Can't remember what result that got though. But nevertheless, that is it for this race build. We are not going to get any forward wheel spin or anything, so there's no point of even watching any of that. So yes, thank you all very much for watching. As always, if you have comments or ideas as to what race builds I could do in the future, do let me know. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.
So good that you're feeling pain, but you better get your face on board the very next train.